Shameless subscriber update in order to have a filler video up on YouTube, but let's talk about a bunch of different things. A lot of you have asked why there's been no ice videos, no ice racing videos, no nothing. That is where my foot just smashed through when I came down in order to check this area. Normally we have John monkey around on the ice in order to go and make a video, but it's just plain not safe at all. And like, that area is usually under a foot of snow. I don't know what to say about the weather this year. It's just absolutely gone wacko the last 3 years. Jesse and Baby update. When they talk about women and nesting in an area of the house, this is exactly what they mean. Breast pump, breast pump. There's a third breast pump here somewhere. Assembly of different snot rag puke wiping thingies. Old cocoa water bottles, baby stuff, more baby stuff, expansion on potential baby stuff to use later.
Baby toys.
Baby toys, some sort of like engram thing here when you get to the end of your rope, hang in there, motivational Family Dollar caca. Yeah, and something about chickens. Even though I do all the opening of the chicken coop because you don't like the cold and I close them every night. So you and your chickens is a lie.
Oreos.
And Oreos. So there's the Jesse Baby update. Oh, by the way, the person that apparently bought us the paint rollers off of the garage repair thing, I lovingly hate you, because now there's an argument in the house about whether those horrifying color doors should be black, and apparently this should be gray. And I've told Jesse pick out some colors and we'll talk about it. The countertop might be a black epoxy, but when I asked Jesse, could you please just show me the color of gray? She's like, gray, it'll be gray. And apparently the argument that there are multiple types of gray does not click. It's just gray.
You said draw me a picture.
Yes, draw me a picture. It's a bunch of cubes. It's straight angles. I'm not asking for Monet. I'm asking for a bunch of straight angles that are colored what color you want it. That's not difficult. Anyways, so there's Jethro. He's all snozzly because of allergies, but he's doing good. What are we at? 10 pounds, 1 ounce?
Yes.
Okay, there we go. Baby update, Jesse update, done. So the junkyard, we've got a bunch of stuff down here that we're going to be getting rid of, cleaning up and stuff. We got rained out on being able to work on this last year, but we are going to pull it down through in the spring. I'm at a point of no ifs, ands, or buts. I need it. I've got to go and get it on the road, so that's going to be happening this year. We've been debating doing another lawn tractor go-kart build because, well, we ended up with 1, 2, 3 for free. And so we might do another go-kart build. Those would be a little bit smaller. And as it is, the MTD go-kart that we built for John is probably about as small as I would want to go, but I'm not sure. We'll see. On the other hand, we've got this rig that I've got tons of time into. So to catch you guys up on this, if you haven't been watching over on RCG Racing here on YouTube, this is an LT1000 Craftsman frame with a GT6000 rear end with the disc brakes set up for the 3-speed with high-low with an MTD hood and a Vanny Briggs in it. And we went drag racing with it. We did like 30 miles per hour. We've been there. We've done that. I got to decide what to do with that rig because I've got hours upon hours into it. And at 30 miles per hour, it's just not fast enough for the guys that I race with. Actually, right now, we're kind of in a debate as to whether we're even going to have a racing season. So I haven't posted on RCG Racing. There's going to be an update coming up over there, but the short version of the story is they sold the place that we've been racing at. And we're not sure whether there's going to be a new place. So there's a very good chance that every one of my dragsters is going to get turned into something else. Haven't quite decided. Considering there's 6 of them, I hope we go drag racing. Otherwise, all 6 are going to get parted out to build something else. We never even bothered digging out the snowblower machine because we've never had a snow more than about 5 inches all winter. A lot of you have asked for a Van Hollen update. Van Hollen is perfectly fine, plus or minus. He exploded his gas tank. We knew when we repainted that gas tank that it was questionable, to say the very least. And once the gas tank pressurized with the return gas and everything else, it blew the seam out across one side. The good news is you guys shared the snot out of several of the Van Hollen videos on Facebook. That literally made me about $300, you guys sharing those videos. And so your efforts of sharing the videos bought him a gas tank. The problem is Jesse and Jethro and the pregnancy went to snot towards the end of it, and I was never able to get the gas tank installed in him and get him up and running for winter. So I've got the gas tank. It is sitting right there, and it's all set. It's painted, it's ready to go, and I've got the gaskets and everything, but I haven't gotten it in because this weather's been so absolutely stupid, and we're still working on cleaning up the garage in order to put the lift inside. This, I haven't decided what in the world to do. It is a basket case to drive. Going up hills on it is absolutely just dangerous as can be because it's such a short wheelbase. I'm really debating. The last thing I should be doing right now is spending money on a toy, but I'm really debating buying one of those 300mm front ATV kits that they sell on Amazon, putting it onto this, extending the front end about 1.5 feet, and putting a locker in the rear end in order to be able to actually make this worth driving. Because as it is right now, I don't trust it. I wouldn't let Jesse drive it. I wouldn't let John drive it. I literally don't like driving it myself, so I've got to do something to make it worth driving. I'm also debating one of those centrifugal clutch belt systems like we run on John's John Deere, and maybe set up for that kind of idea. As far as the tents are concerned, I get a lot of questions about the tents on different videos. This is the Harbor Freight tent. The replacement cover that we bought was crap. It had creases in it, and all 3 of those creases blew out. So I don't know who packaged it, compressed it, did whatever, but every one of those major creases you could see when we laid it out, they all leak. So we have a big giant tarp on it now. But this thing offloads the snow really well. The Harbor Freight offloads snow really well. The Shelter Logic does not offload snow as good as the Harbor Freight does. And this thing as far as snow is concerned, is crap. It does not offload snow by any means. I'm constantly having to come out here and babysit it. And let me turn around here. Right there loads up with snow and ice and everything. I didn't unload it yet just so I could show you guys. And what it is, which you can see right here, is that the Vetvor unit, unlike the Alibabas and the other more expensive units, it only has a bungee cord about every 2 feet, not every foot or so like a lot of the other units. So if you're going to buy one of these and you're going to deal with Maine snow, you need to buy one that has bungee cords like every foot or so. Like in the Alibaba over here, I mean, this is the original top on this Alibaba from 3 years ago. And as you can see, when I come in here, there's one just about every foot or so, whereas on the Vetvor, it's like every 2 feet. So, as much as I love Vetvor, and I've worked with them on a lot of projects, if you live in a snowy climate, I would not buy their tent. Straight outright, I like the company, but I wouldn't buy it. let's talk about inside and what we're doing with the garage here while we're walking this direction, because I need to get my hands warmed up. Because there's no snow on the ground, but it's still only like 24, 25 degrees. Alright, so let's come in here and let me do a little spin here. We've got the Built Hard that we haven't taken apart because, yet again, John hasn't been feeling good. There's been a medical thing going on with John. He is getting better, but we're talking another probably week and a half of recovery on his scenario. And yeah, I try not to be the embarrassing parent when it comes to YouTube videos. So either way, leave a get well soon for John if you'd like, but we'll forego discussing what's going on. So we've got this area we're working on. We've got it all put together across the back wall. My old toolbox is in place. This thing has got to get replaced, but the problem is right here is where most likely the post is going to get set up that goes all the way to the roof line. And that means that I need something, see if I can show it. That means I need something that fits right there. So if I get rid of the bolts, the nuts and bolts bin, and I get rid of this, then eventually I can put a large Harbor Freight toolbox right here. That's my goal eventually, is one of those big Harbor Freight toolboxes that just covers this entire area. That way, all of my car and truck and automotive stuff can end up here, and all of the small engine stuff can end up over on the other side over here, because there's a small toolbox there that's outfitted with basically everything I need in order to work on small engines, and that would really help with this situation. The other thing I've been working on is, let me pick one up here. I've been working on 3D printing. So I went on Thingiverse and I found these 3D socket set prints that are absolutely beautiful. And I found these non-marked ones that have the little studs inside so that nothing moves around and nothing falls out. So there's a 3D printer, why you would want one for a shop type just insert. I also got my SATA toolkit all set up so that we can be able to, get to the SATA tools and use them and see how that goes. And over here, that whole area, these have all got to get gutted out, and they've all got to go on the other side of this post in order to be able to get this clear. And there's the battery marking the stairwell idea. And the bandsaw is basically going to stay about where it is, plus or minus about a foot back. So the idea is we've got the whiteboard here. We're going to run the shelving out to about here. And then I've got a painted piece of pegboard. Let me find it. I've got a painted piece of pegboard here. Compliments of you guys and purchasing paint through the garage update Amazon list. I really appreciate everybody who's purchased through that. You guys have pushed this project way further than I was expecting to go on. The support was way more than I ever expected. So giant, amazing thank yous to you guys. It's been a very demoralizing winter as far as YouTube is concerned. You know, every major YouTuber is debating quitting right now. Every major YouTuber is taking off the entire month of February because I kid you not, like, if I was to post a video during like June, July that would normally make $50, let's just use 50 as a number. Right now, posting the same exact video, I would be likely to make 8, 10 at the very most. YouTube income is 1/5 at very best for most videos right now. It's the worst I have seen in 13 years of doing YouTube. There's a reason why YouTubers are quitting. I'm in the buckle down and make it through it, but others are liquidating and getting out. Am I making the right choice? I'm not sure. At this point, right now, if things come back, even to about 2/3 of what they used to be this summer, we can still make it. Just by the scuff of our teeth, but we can still make it. So that's where we're at right now. I haven't been feeling good. Jesse's going back to work, going back to work part-time tomorrow. John, we've talked about a little bit. Jethro is feeling better. I'm expecting the next 2 weeks to be a rather transitional thing, dealing with Jethro while Jesse's going back to work. Luckily, we've been able to get her into a progressive schedule, which means it'll be 3 days the first 2 or 3 weeks, and then it'll be 4, and then it'll be back to full time. So the good news is that'll allow me at least 3 or 4 days that she's going to be home that I can work on video. Bad news is that means that we're going to have some transition time, and anybody that's dealt with a baby knows what I'm talking about. Alright, well, anyways, that's our blatant filler subscriber update video, just to give you guys something to watch, because this weekend just kind of... I'm not going to have you watch me sort shelving units filled with 15 years worth of ex-alcoholic stupidity. So, here's your video, and hopefully we'll get something out later in the week.